All right, we're going to try this again. My goodness, it is definitely Mercury retrograde. I was already live once and had no sound. So please let me know if I have sound. If you're watching live, check it out. Let me know that I have sound. Let me know that you can hear me. Hopefully I do. That was quite a struggle to get myself back live, but here we are. Hi, I'm Christy Forsyth. I am a spiritual life coach. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what it is that you need to know that's happening here in the current energy, the astrology, the energy that's impacting each and every one of us, how we can use this energy to have the best week possible, and what we need to understand about it, where we might be having some pitfalls. Pat's saying she can hear me. Thank you. Awesome. Good. So where we might be getting stuck, where we might get caught up if we're not aware of what's going on in the energy, and also helping you to understand what it is that you're feeling. This is basically like an energetic weather report so that you understand. So I'm going to talk about the messages that I have connected with, the energy, the information that I have connected with about this energy, a little bit about the astrology. And also then we're going to dive into the tarot portion of this reading where we build on the messages that we've already talked about. If you're somebody who hasn't stuck around for the tarot reading, I want to invite you to do that. It is the best part of the reading. It is the most important part of the reading, and it brings all of the messages together to help you have your best week possible. So I would love to have you join me for that. So let's talk about what you guys have going on. How are you feeling in this energy? What's been going on? Because certainly there's an intensity in the air. Is that getting to you? Are you really having a hard time in this energy? Are you having an easy time in this energy? Some people are flowing quite nicely through all of this, and some people are having a really hard time. This is certainly a very intense month. There's a lot going on in the energy. We're being asked to go with the flow. We're being asked to change a lot, to work on a lot, to be very adaptive in this energy, and that can be really difficult. Where do I want to start? I think I want to start with talking about and reminding you of what is going on with the astrology. I'm not going to go too in depth with it just because I talked about this last week as well and the week before as well. So make sure that you watch those videos if you haven't. There's a lot of important messages there for you. And a lot of this energy is flowing over from the past couple of weeks as well. So the first thing that I want to highlight is that we are literally in between two eclipses right now. We will be closing out this eclipse portal this week, and so we're going to be talking about that, but we're in between eclipses. And so this is a time where the energy has this way of creating sometimes chaos in our lives or really shaking things up, inviting for us to change things, shake things up, to be willing to change, to be willing to make adjustments and follow the flow of where the energy in our life is leading us. And I think that it's really important in this energy for us to lean into whatever this journey is that we find ourselves on, even if we don't understand it, even if we don't understand where it's going, but that we recognize that the things that are happening right now are not only destined for us, but they're also for us. They're for our highest and our best good. They're for putting us on our best life path so that we can live our absolute best life that we're meant to be living as the best version of ourselves here in this time. And so we're being really coached by the universe how we can be the best version of ourselves. We're being shown, sometimes we're being shown in really rude ways, right? Like uncomfortable ways, but we are being shown, how can I be better? How can I show up as a better version of myself? How can my life be better? What needs to change in order for my life to be better? Whether that's something within myself or something that's in my external environment. I feel like there's a lot though that we're being asked to take a look at in terms of change that's happening within, where we can change our thoughts, our thinking, our perception. And I think that a lot of that starts with just a willingness to be open to things going away that's different than we expected. I had, for example, I want to share this example because I think that this will be helpful for you. Somebody reached out to me this week and said, I felt this intuitive prompt to do this thing, and I tried to pursue this thing. I tried to go after this thing, and it didn't work out. It didn't go anywhere. And so I'm feeling a little confused. I'm feeling a little frustrated. I'm having a hard time with the fact that I felt this pull to do this, and I thought it was going to help me with this overall goal that I had, but that it does not appear that that is leading me there. So first I want to say, don't jump to conclusions and assume that it's not going to lead you where you want to be. However, I also think in this energy, we really want to be embracing this idea of doing it God's way, doing it the universe's way versus doing it our way, and being open to that. So we may feel a prompt. We might be feeling like we're guided to take a step in a certain direction, and we may not understand now or in the future why we are guided to do that. We want to still keep honoring those prompts and those feelings, because those are really important and they can carry us where we're meant to be. But also, we've put our intentions out there. God is clear on where it is that you're meant to go. So if you are meant to go there, trust that the journey is leading you there. And your job is to take those steps and to do those things. And again, you may not understand it, and it might not make sense, and it may not be the way that you get to the thing that you're wanting to create. But we want to just keep coming back to the fact that we want to come back to what it is that we want to create and to focus on that rather than focusing on the how of how we are going to create it. So I hope that that makes sense. So come back to the vision of what it is that you want to create and keep holding the energy of that, and to try not to get too stopped up in, if you feel like you're meant to do something and you're moving in that direction and then you're getting caught up in it's just not feeling like it's taking you where you're meant to be. First of all, we don't know where this is all going. But second, maybe you're just meant to take that action for another reason. Maybe that wasn't necessarily meant to take you to that final destination. So trust that you're being led there in the way that God, the universe, wants to lead you there. And eclipses just have this way of making it really confusing, of making it really unclear, and also very clear at the same time. You are being shown what's meant for you, what's not meant for you, where you're supposed to go. And it might feel a little bit cloudy, less so because it's actually cloudy, but more so because you feel afraid to move in that direction. And I think in this energy, we're being invited to look fear in the eye and to proceed as we feel as though we are being led to proceed. And I think that there's a lot of the universe pushing us out of our comfort zone. There's a lot of the universe asking for us to do it a different way, to show up a different way, to try something new, to lean into this new journey that we are going on or that we have been on in recent months. And so we have to trust the process. But I feel like right now that's a difficult thing to do in a lot of ways, because we also have Venus in retrograde, we have Mercury in retrograde, and those are asking for us to go within and to focus on our work, what it is that we need to work on, what it is that we need to shift, what it is that we need to change. And you're being shown that right now. Your stuff is being brought to the surface. And so you can push it back down, you can ignore it, but I would take this as an opportunity to work on it. And I think for a lot of people, it's just about this willingness to embrace the new stuff and the blessings and the new beginnings that are wanting to be happening and unfolding right now, and to truly let ourselves lean into that in a way that is open-hearted, in a way that is vulnerable, and vulnerability is not an easy thing. And this energy is so intense that it's difficult to bring ourselves into balance right now, and to feel as though we have the strength and the ability to do this. But the fact of the matter is that you have been preparing for this for a long time. And so the more that you can build up that courage, I wouldn't be surprised if that strength card comes up in the card reading. If you can pull up the courage to do the things that you feel called to do, and also balance it out with some extreme self-care. It's so important that we're taking great care of ourselves right now, and that we're honoring what it is that we're needing here in this energy. So with that being said, I think one of the most important things that we need to be doing this week is to essentially let the language that we speak be blessing. So being really mindful about not investing a lot of energy in venting or talking about what's not going well or focusing on what's not going well, and instead shifting into focusing on our blessings. I shared a short or a reel today, and I was talking about how it might be helpful right now in this energy for us to find a partner to do this with. And every day you send one another a message or a photo, or you call each other and you share your favorite part of your day. Because I feel really strongly right now that we want to be focusing on the blessings that are happening for us. And as we focus on the blessings, we're going to get more blessings. And it's going to help to elevate our energy so that we're not getting caught up in how overwhelming this energy can be. And as you focus on the blessings, I want to encourage you to like turn the volume up on those blessings. So what I mean is I want you to speak about your life as it's even better than it actually is this week. I want you to speak about your finances as though they're even better than they actually are this week, because there's a lot of opportunity to speak things into existence, especially as we're getting closer into this new moon eclipse energy that we have coming up on the 29th. I think that's Saturday. So keep that in mind and be mindful about what you're saying. It's better to say nothing than to speak negatively or to vent to people here in this energy. I mean, we need to let some stuff leak out, and I understand that, but keep that to a minimum if you can, because I think the focus on the blessings, and almost as we speak about your blessings, I feel like I need to say that we need to be downright almost delusional about it. You might feel delusional, right? As you're talking about how great things are for you. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that with other people, maybe you just, when they ask you how you are, you just say good, right? You don't have to use that as an opportunity to go through everything that's going wrong for you. And maybe when you're, for example, driving in your car or you have a few minutes alone, you speak as though you are speaking to your best friend, and you talk about everything that's going right for you and everything that you want to create and everything that hasn't arrived into your existence yet, but you're creating it through the words. So you do a little manifestation rant where you talk about, I am living the most incredible life. It is prosperous. I feel so supported by the universe right now. Everyone is amazing to me. People are treating me so well. I have everything that I want. And you go through all the things that you do want and that you do want to create. So you go on a little rant and you create through the voice. I feel like that's really important. So speaking about our blessings and speaking our blessings into existence is a really important energy here this week. So keep that in mind. And then we close out this eclipse portal. We've been in this eclipse portal for a little over a week now, and it'll be 2 weeks by the time that closes out. We close the eclipse portal out. There's work that we've been doing during this time. And so this is the bookend. This is the closing out of that energy. And so you let it carry you into this new chapter in your life. You let it show you the way instead of you showing it the way. Yes, be intentional. Yes, let the universe know what you want. But I think that more importantly right now, this is just about allowing ourselves to flow. Hi, Lynette. Nice to see you here. So letting ourselves flow and seeing where this new chapter is leading us. I'm here having so many people say to me, I realize how I created this. I asked for whatever they're experiencing in their life. I asked for this, and they're starting to see how it is the answer to a prayer, or it is the answer to an intention that they set. And I think that things are starting to make a little bit more sense here in this energy. So yeah, I think that we want to allow this to carry us, and that we want to be leaning into that. And we don't want to be holding on to the past or trying to grip onto things that we actually don't have control over. And I think that if you're doing that, you are fighting against this energy. It's also, while I shuffle the cards, a very karmic energy. And so it is, we're going to find that if we've been putting good out to the universe, if we've been speaking our blessings into existence, we've been talking about what we're grateful for, we're going to get more of that energy. If we are, if we are putting negative energy out there, if we're being really triggered and reactive, and certainly this is a very triggering energy, but we want to make sure that we're keeping ourselves in check and that we're watching how we speak to one another. Communication is tough during Mercury retrograde, so we want to be really intentional about how we're communicating and making sure that we're showing up as the best version of ourselves as possible, because that's how we're going to create the best possible karma for ourselves during this time. And if you're somebody who's been intentionally doing wrong by people and sending out negative energy, that's going to show up for you. That's absolutely going to show up for you. So keep that in mind. Pulling these cards, and then I will read them to you. Sorry, I was intending to shuffle these in advance like I did last week, and I did not. So I will do that. But I kind of liked the way that flowed better last week, but let me know what you guys like. If you're watching this on my YouTube, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I did drop a card on the floor, so I'm going to check that. Yeah. Okay. We're going to keep that card. I definitely feel that so much. Okay. So let's talk about the cards that we pulled. So we have this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this to me feels like we're all very aware that we're right on the brink of some kind of a level up, some kind of shift, some kind of blessings that are coming in, and you may feel that showing up. So I want to validate for those of you that are feeling incredible things happening in your energy. I had somebody text me today too, and actually a few people texted me today to share their blessings with me. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Speak your blessings into existence, or the things that you're getting excited about, the things that you see are starting to develop, and eventually some things are going to keep moving forward, and eventually we're going to see things developing. And I think with this eclipse, that's going to be that shifting point where you feel like, okay, some things are moving forward. Things are really going to start moving forward more as we get a little bit further out into April. If you want a monthly overview of what's going on, make sure you check out my membership at claritybyclarsey.com. That's where I do a monthly overview. So I will be releasing the April reading shortly. I like to give people a bird's eye view of what to expect. But anyway, so Wheel of Fortune, things are coming. Things are going to be happening. Blessings are going to be coming in. You may be feeling that in your energy field right now, but you might not be seeing it fully concretely developing just yet. But this feels like this is saying it's coming. We just have to get through this energy. Hillary said, should I keep going? I don't know. This energy has me ready to fold more than I've ever felt, feeling defeated today. Yeah, Hillary, make sure you go back, check out this reading, check out last week's reading where I'm talking about what's going on in the energy. It can feel really defeating, and it can feel really deflating. It's very intense. Again, we're in between two eclipses. We're in two retrogrades, intense retrogrades. We're doing a lot of work right now, and it can feel very defeating. And so we want to be in this energy, really focusing on, okay, like a lot is going wrong. What's going right? What's going right? What feels like it's going right? And focusing as much of our energy on that as possible. Queen of Swords. We're becoming more and more aware of what needs to shift, what needs to change, where we need to set boundaries, what needs to be different. And I think that we are stepping into this energy that much more here this week. There may be something this week or some things this week that you look at and you're like, this does not align for me anymore. This does not, it should not be existing in my world anymore. This has to change. This has to be different. And so all of that may be happening for you in this energy. So make sure that you honor that. The Queen of Swords is a mastery of boundaries. She is a master of being fair, but also she clears things out as she needs to. She takes care of it. And so part of your strength may be in setting these boundaries, in saying what you need to say, in making the changes that you need to make, in cutting off the things that need to be different, because we also have the Eight of Cups. We're walking away from things that no longer serve us. By the way, I feel like a lot of this is mentally for us. Like, what are the thoughts that no longer serve you? What are the ways of viewing the world, the stories that you're telling yourself that aren't serving you anymore, that don't do you any good? In fact, they keep you disconnected. They keep you stuck. They're keeping you small. They're preventing you from being the best version of you, the version of you that you're meant to be. So paying attention to that and being willing to walk away from some things, even if we don't know where we're going, even if we don't know, how we might see that better, or if it might feel scary to release old stories, because it's like, okay, so what do I expect in my life? And I think the answer to that is expect the unexpected and let the universe show you what the new story is, what the new chapter is, as you allow it all to unfold. The Hierophant in reverse. We may be taking a look at specifically black and white thinking, or specifically old beliefs. Maybe this is religious beliefs. Maybe this is beliefs about ourselves, beliefs about the way that the world works. And we're just recognizing this doesn't work for me anymore. It's time for me to loosen up some of those thoughts, release some of those paradigms that just no longer feel right for me, that no longer align for me in my life. Because it's important for us with this Fool card to be willing to lean into the new, to be willing to lean into this new chapter that we maybe have already started, but it's time to take steps along that road. It's time to take it to the next level. It's time to commit to this new chapter. We can be part of a new chapter and not be fully committed to it, or not be fully connected to it, or even be a willing participant. And this is saying, if the universe is leading you in this direction, be a willing participant. Go lean into this, lean into the changes that have happened, that are happening, and trust that this journey is leading you where you're meant to go, because that's what the Fool energy is. That's the way they call it. The Fool is the Fool just trusts so much in this. And it's a really beautiful energy. I don't love that they call it the Fool, because I think that the Fool is such a beautiful energy. It's this trusting energy, like we've never been hurt before, like we've never gone through pain before. It's very innocent and it's very beautiful. And this is so important. And Craig is saying, you're right again, the stories that I tell myself are the narratives for my psychological blocks. I have to edit the narrative to unblock my psyche. Yeah, let's edit the narrative. That's so key in this energy. And it's being brought up to the surface for you so that you can edit it, so that you can look at it. And it's not comfortable. It's not easy, but it's giving us an opportunity to change for the better. And this is really beautiful. And I think we can come to the other side of Saturday feeling like, wow, I feel really different. I really feel like I leveled up. But in the meantime, Temperance card, we want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. We want to make sure that we're balancing ourselves. And I feel like too, with this Temperance card, that there's just things hitting, just things happening, just things moving forward around this eclipse, where it's like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting on that forever. But you are willing to make a change, to shift something, to do something differently. And so this is that reward. It allows for divine timing to finally happen. So if you've been waiting on divine timing, that might be something that hits for you in this. But I promise you, if you're being shown that you need to change the way that you're approaching something or thinking about something, that probably things aren't going to move forward until you are able to do that. So that's really key this week. But you have the power to do that, and you have the ability to do that because you are really powerful, and you intended this for yourself before you even came here. So you have everything within you to be able to do this. And I feel like that's an important message. The card that fell on the floor is the Four of Wands. So interesting that that fell on the floor. So we might feel like our stability is falling to the floor. Everything we thought we knew about the world is being challenged. Everything that we thought we wanted is being challenged. And you might find yourself wanting different things or trying different ways or wanting to have different experiences. And I feel like this is saying, embrace it. Go after it, allow it to unfold. You're not being led down the wrong path as long as you're listening to your intuition and you're honoring it and you're letting yourself be shown. The only way that you'll find yourself off track is if you're trying to control this, if you know something intuitively and you're trying to do something in the opposite direction. So just honor it. It's not easy. But I also know that we've got this, and I know that we've got some lighter energy ahead as we lean into this new chapter that we're being ushered into. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all. I'm sending you all light as you find your way. I have left some openings in my schedule for this tricky energy this week. So I do have a few openings if somebody is wanting to schedule a soul therapy session with me or an energy session or whatever it is that you're needing. So reach out to me. I did that intentionally just to help with people who really have their stuff stirred up this week. And so sometimes we just need to get in right away. So I left that for you guys. All right. I love you all. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.